So sorry for this unattractive angle, but join me while I mark my golf ball. And I think one thing a lot of people struggle with is what to think about when they're on the golf course, especially when they're doing swing changes. So I'm no different. I'm always finding what's good, what's perfect, what's good for me. So today, my swing thought is going to be to hold my follow through on every single shot. So it could be something as simple as that. It could be something more, technical, something more swing related. You really need to find what works for you. But today I'm going to try playing with the swing thought of holding my follow through every shot. Hey guys! As I said, today we're just gonna have a regular vlog, and what I am going to be doing is focusing a lot more on holding my follow through. So I know it might seem like something very simple, but really, a swing thought should be something very simple. So I'll explain it more as we go, but let's get started. That is the first drive on the first hole, and I hit a pretty decent shot, so now we are down on the center of the fairway. Exactly what we need for the first hole. Wow, that's how it's gonna be.
Good shot, lots of spin in that. Oh
Yeah! Wow! Good,
yeah, bro.
good par, good birdie.
Just the square.
So how this swing thought really came about, I actually noticed in my videos, for shots where I hit better, I noticed that my follow through was the one thing that I could see that was different between the shot that I hit well and the shot that I didn't. And it might be something very subtle, you might not realize it, but personally for me, obviously I realized it a lot more because it is me, it's my swing, I see it all the time. But as you will be able to see later, I'll kind of point out what I'm talking about.
Oh, beauty.
And I'll talk more about that later, but let's see what we have right now. For my second shot on this hole, I had 193 yards, and you might think that that's a little bit long for me to be hitting a 5-iron. And the reason why I'm hitting a 5-iron is actually because I was going towards the right side of this green. So my 5-iron would be enough to carry that bunker, which is basically where you need to hit it on this hole, because the pin today was a sucker pin, and if you hit it towards the pin, chances are it's going to roll over the green. Unfortunately, a big gush of wind actually came and it was a headwind right before I hit. And I did hit it very solid, so I ended up being short in this bunker in front of the green. As you can see from the video, you can't even see my ball because it was actually one of those balls that just rolled into the bunker. So I'm having a downhill lie here, and it is a long bunker shot. I'm hitting a 52-degree wedge, and I actually love hitting this wedge because it allows me to hit long bunker shots, which is something that I used to struggle with before. But obviously for this shot, it's not an easy shot, so my main goal here is really just to get it on the green and give myself a putt for par. So always remember to set expectations that are appropriate for every single shot. Not every shot needs to be aimed at the pin. Not every shot needs to be even aimed at the center of the green. It really just comes down to which shot will give you the best opportunity to make the shot after that. So I still have a very long putt here for par, and I didn't make it. It was just the wrong line, but a bogey is better than a double bogey, and I'll take that any day when I am in trouble. So So my drive ended up being a little bit too far left, and as you can see, I did not leave myself in a good position. So I'm really just taking my medicine here and just chipping it out with a 52-degree wedge over this bunker and getting it out as far as I can. There was really no choice there. If I tried to hit anything longer, it would probably hit the lip and come back in. So sometimes you just need to take your medicine and go to your next shot.
Oh, what a putt.
We've reached hole 13, my least favorite tee shot on this 9. And as you can tell, most of the time I actually take different clubs to tee off on this hole. It ranges from a hybrid to very rarely, but sometimes a driver really. Because honestly, I just look at what feels the best on a given day. Because this hole is just not the most comfortable for my eye, I really just look at what fits, what looks the best for that day and what I feel the most comfortable with. Because, you know, on holes like this, I really believe nothing is more important than feeling confident on the tee box. If you do not feel confident on the tee box, chances are you're going to hit that bailout shot that goes the complete opposite direction of where the hazard is, or you're just going to be thinking too much about the hazard and end up going straight into it. So really, I would just say, I really trust in just hitting whatever feels best for you. On any day, it doesn't have to be the same thing every single day. You can always cater it to yourself, what you feel is best, and you know, just really play to your strengths.
Good shot, Jen.
See, here's the thing. I'm not saying that holding my follow through is going to fix all my swing problems, but in general, when I hit good shots, I feel like I can hold my follow through for a long time, basically until like forever. Like I feel balanced, I feel steady. So that is the essence of why I want my swing thought to be holding my follow through. One of the other things I find is that most of the time when I don't finish my swing is when I'm not fully committed to my shot because I'm still thinking about things. Like I'm standing over the ball and I'm thinking like, do I want to hit this full? Or do I want to hit this half? What's the exact distance? When that really should be done before. As I was saying, so yeah, I feel like that's another reason why the follow through thing is important for me. It's not the actual like follow through, but it's the whole idea behind why I need to do it.
Whoa, what a putt.
This is the toughest thing.
As I said, holding the follow through is not going to fix every single problem that I have. As you are about to see, I hit a good shot on this hole. It was where I wanted to go. It's just that because of the pin position and I did not know how little space I had actually on the right side of this pin. Basically, the position that I hit, it was impossible to stop the ball because I hit it almost on the green and it just rolled all the way back into the water because it is just a false front there. So definitely on this hole, the left side is actually better, but I did not know that. So as you can see, based on the pin position, I just went straight down into the water and it was actually a shot that was almost on the green. So as I said again, it's not going to fix all your swing problems, but the fact is I did hit a good shot, it just wasn't a good result. So as you are about to see here, and as something that I learned throughout this round, which was a little surprise to in addition to me trying this swing thought today, is that Well, if you guys did not already know this, I think this round is very clear. Good course management is more important than solid striking. So the previous hole was a good example. This par 5 is another good example. Hit a good shot, ran out of fairway, end up in another bunker with a high lip that I can't get out of, so I have to chip it out again. Not the best play, guys, and definitely the worst thing you can do is hit a good shot and just have the wrong aim and end up in a bad position.
Definitely not taking advantage of the par 5 so far, hitting good drives and just in wrong positions, leaving me in the bunker with high lips that I can't get over. That just goes to show too, good shots, good aim is more important than good shots, because if you hit good shot into the wrong aim, you're still going to be in a bad position.
So as I said, I definitely did not think that I would be having a hybrid into this green after bombing that drive down there. To be honest, I honestly didn't think that I could reach that bunker, but I hit really good shot and it just ended up going too far. So that is one of the worst things, guys. Sometimes, because this hole has water too, I tend to aim more safe. But you know, honestly, sometimes it's better to just play more aggressively, because if I had played more aggressively, I might have even had a chance to go on the green. Where I chipped out was literally about 20 yards from where I teed off. So the play there definitely could have been very different and could have led to very different results. But luckily for me, I hit a good third shot and still gave myself a chance for birdie and a tap-in par. So similar to the previous hole, this is another hole where being more aggressive and really, I hit a decent shot. It was just playing too safe because the pin is pretty close to those left bunkers, so I wanted to go towards the right side. And I ended up over here, and I was really deciding between chipping and putting, but as you can tell, I'm pretty close to the bunker, so that place there was full of sand. So I was a bit worried about chipping, because when there's sand there, the chance of you duffing the ball is pretty high. And because of that, I ended up making a mistake and making a silly bogey on a par 3. So that is definitely not something that we like to see. And as I said, another perfect example of how good course management is more important than good ball striking. Or another way to view it is, good ball striking is useless without good course management. Because even if I'm hitting it super good, I'm hitting it straight to where I want to go, if where I want to go is not the right spot, it's still not going to leave me in a good position. So over here, I decided I was going to be more aggressive, hit a pitching wedge straight at the pin even though the pin was pretty tucked, and that ended up paying off as I left myself with about this 7-footer for birdie.
Wow, 3 birdies, man.
What a bird, I love that.
Oh.
So we've reached the second 9, and something that I've really been enjoying about making these vlogs is that I really learn something every single time. I came into today really thinking that I wanted to talk about swing thought, my swing thought for the day, and just focus on that one swing thought. But I ended up realizing something else that's very important about golf, which is that good ball striking does not always equals to good scoring. And which is more important? I guess that is something that is quite debatable, because really, if you strike it well, chances are it might not be your day some days, but eventually the scores will come, and they will come by itself. And if you're not striking it well and you're scoring well, it might be a little bit more luck. So I would say that good ball striking is definitely more important. But at the end of the day, golf is all about scoring. When we play tournament golf, it's all about scoring. If you're playing casual rounds, that's different. But even if you're playing against your friends, chances are you would like to score well. And the main takeaway from this is that if you want to score well, you need to know how to manage a golf course.
Starts off
My aim on this hole is going to be the left side of the shadow over there. Just because there's bunkers on the left side, nothing on the right. I've got 152. It's pretty strong into the wind, and as you can see, the pin is just in front. It's an elevated green, so I'm going to take more club. Well, the club choice was correct, but I was too focused on the distance, I forgot to choose a good target.
Oh, great shot.
Good shot lah. Punched it.
So for this shot, I had 81 yards, which is a really awkward distance. But I decided to go with a longer club and chip it up because can you see that hill before the green? Before the flag? So I didn't think it would go up with the 58. So I decided to go with 52.
Good ball again.
Great bet.
So as you can clearly see from this video, course management is very important, but always don't forget, even though you might have all the right clubs, all the right decisions made, everything thought about, sometimes things just don't work out the way you expect it to. For this hole, 180 was the perfect club for me for a 5-iron. It's a little bit uphill, the green has about 3 tiers, but because of the pin position and the way the greens were bouncing today, it hit exactly where I wanted it to and still landed over. So sometimes, things don't work out exactly the way you want them to. For this chip shot, I just had a very difficult lie and I thought I'd just chop it out there and try to get it as close or just on the green just so I could get a putt, and clearly that did not happen. But you know what? Really, sometimes you just have to do it the best with what you can, because in that position, it was a tough lie. I didn't have much choice. It was either going to be short, it's going to be over. So, made a bogey there. We'll walk away and move on to the next hole.
Yeah, great shot.
Beauty.
Good shot.
No problem.
For the second shot, honestly, just trying to get it as far as I can and trying to make sure that it's on the fairway. So gotta hit it a little bit left side of this fairway because the right side slopes towards the rough. So most of the time if you hit towards the right side, it just bounces into the rough. So you do want to aim a little bit left. Unfortunately, that ended up not being the best play because now I have a very awkward distance to a front pin. And that's why when we have tournaments, yardage books are so important, because from there I couldn't even see the green. Whereas if you have a yardage book, you can see where the pin position is and then you know how far you want to lay up for your second shot. So where I am now, it will be good for any pin other than the front pin. So we'll see what we can do.
Got it, got it.